Welcome, yogi, to this all-over yoga stretch. This is a great stretch for any time of day, particularly good if you've been sitting a lot or traveling, or just any time you need to stretch all over. We will use a couple of blocks in forward fold if your hamstrings are on the tighter side, and also a blanket under your knees if you don't like the pressure on them when you're kneeling. If you have a bolster for Shavasana, you could grab that too. I'm going to stand at the back of our mat to start off with. So have your blocks back there with you if you've got them. We'll start in Tadasana at the back of our mat. So that's standing, feet about hip distance apart. Just taking a moment to arrive on your mat. Relax your shoulders. You could try pulling the shoulder blades back a little and rounding them forwards. And then finding a middle point where your hands rest, facing towards the thighs, the sides of your thighs. And just take a deep breath into your belly. And exhale. Do 2 more of those, please. Inhale into your belly, into your chest. And exhale. And the last one with Ujjayi breath. Inhale. Exhale through your nose. Send your hands out and up. When they get up overhead, interlace all of your fingers and press the palms up to the ceiling. Reach your shoulders and palms up. Take a deep breath in and exhale. Now you're going to reach up and back and left a little bit, reaching the right palm up and back to get into the right waist a bit more. Take a breath here and come back to the middle. And we'll do the same thing the other way. Lift up the hands, back and left, and stretch through the left waist, the left heel of the hand pressing up and back. And come back to the middle. Take another breath in, lift the little fingers back, chest up, and exhale, release your hands, forward fold. So this is where I mentioned if your legs are on a tighter side, grab your blocks and put them underneath your hands, so that you can stretch your legs safely without over-rounding your back. So you're not striving to reach for the floor. And you might be comfortable with your fingers on the floor without your blocks. That's fine too. Just take a couple of breaths here, yogi, stretching into the back of your legs. We'll take a halfway lift, stretch your torso out long. If you had your blocks there, just move them to one side or to each side and walk your hands forwards into downward facing dog. So your hands are going to be quite wide, maybe even little fingers towards the outside of your mat. Separate your feet a good distance too. Soften your knees. Press through your shoulders so that you get lots of length through your spine. 2 deep breaths here. And if you want to pedal your legs out a little bit, just to stretch into your calves more, stretch into your hamstrings more, that's fine. And we'll lower the knees down. Now, if you'd like a blanket underneath them, just slide it across for that cushioning. Lift up the tailbone and head, look forwards, breathe in, cow pose. Exhale into cat pose, chin in towards your chest. And that's a big round through your whole spine. Lift the tailbone up, look forwards. Belly down, breath in. Tuck the tailbone down, tuck your chin in, and lift the middle of your back up to the sky. Another one of these, please, yogis. And exhale into the round. If you're using your blanket, you might move it so your next pose isn't uncomfortable. We'll shift forwards and Vinyasa Chaturanga down towards the floor so you can have knees up or down. Slow descent to the ground. And we're going to keep the hands under the shoulders and take 3 cobras. So separate the feet a bit, press the tops of the feet down. Roll up, Bhujangasana, cobra. And you can be low cobra or high cobra, your choice. Make sure that you don't compress your low back too much. Soften down. Roll it up again, shoulders drop away from your ears. And look just at the front of your mat. Exhale, soften down. Another one of those, roll it up, just stretching here into the back, into the front of your body, the belly, the chest, stretching the spine, soften your way down. Child's pose, shift your hips back, all the way back to your feet. Rest your head on the floor. And let's walk our hands over to the right side. So all the way over to the right, maybe all the way off your mat onto the floor, and breathe into your left ribs. Anchor your left sit bone towards your foot. Reach your left fingertips another 1/8 of an inch further away. And let's try through center and over to the left with the hands. Just as far across as you can reach comfortably. Sit into the right side of your bum a bit towards the heel. Breathe into the right ribs and waist. This is a nice lateral stretch for your spine. Lovely, come back to center. Rise up to your tabletop and up to downward facing dog again. Now you're going to shorten your down dog by a few inches so it's not too stretched out. And then bring your right hand across towards the left leg as low down as you can. So that could be that you reach your knee or just below. You might reach your ankle or you might reach your heel. And start to turn your chest through towards the left, anchoring your left heel towards the floor, lifting your hip bones up. Pressing through your left shoulder. Keep rotating. And then reach right hand to the floor. And try your left hand instead. So that left hand could reach below the knee, the calf, the ankle, the heel. Hips come to center. Drive through the right shoulder and look out under the right underarm. Well done, yogi. Release this out and walk your hands back to the back of your mat again. So you're back at the back. I'll take a dangle pose now. Bend your knees. Let your belly and your thighs rest together. Relax your neck. If you can't touch the floor comfortably in a dangle, again, you can use your block. Just let the weight of the head gently traction the spine. Like you could decompress it just with the weight of your head. And soften your knees, push your feet down, send the hands up to the ceiling. Reaching up, back to where we started. Clasp your hands together, press your hands up. Reach back and left. Come back up to center, reach back and right. Back up to the middle, lifting the palms, reaching back. And releasing into forward fold, hands down to the blocks or the floor. Take an inhale. Inner thighs feel like they're spinning back. Exhale. Halfway lift, stretch your torso long. And as you exhale, walk your hands forwards, back into your downward facing dog. Lift the tailbone. Elevate the shoulders, sink your heels a little bit. It's okay if your knees are bent or if the heels don't get down to the ground. And again, lower down to your knees. You can put your blanket there if you need it. Soft, light landing. Arch your back, look forwards. Breathe in, tailbone, head lift. Cat pose, navel lifts around your back. Exhale. Inhale into the arch. It's finding as much space as you can in your spine here. Your arms stay straight. Exhale, root through the knuckles and fingertips. One more of these. Come back to neutral. Shift forwards, knees up or down. Slow descent, strong core. Chaturanga to the floor. And this time, let's take our hands off the side of the mat. So you're going to have your elbows up high and your fingertips down. And you suck your fingertips in towards the thumb to make a space. And we'll roll up for a little wide hand cobra. Soften down. 2 more of those with your breath, please, yogis. Inhale, ripple up. Exhale, soften down. Press the tops of your feet into the mat. Roll up one more time. And soften down. Hands under the shoulders. Press your way back to child's pose. And walk your hands to the right side of your mat, side stretch. Deep breath into your ribs. And out. Over to the left. Walk your hands all the way over there, maybe off your mat. Reach your right hand. And then we come back to the middle, up to tabletop. Inhale, downward facing dog. Exhale, lead with strength in the core. Shorten your down dog up just a little bit. Reach your right hand across to as low down the left leg as you can and rotate. Drive through that left shoulder. And switch it out, left hand reaching towards the lowest part of the right leg that it can reach. Turning your chest through. And release. Walk your hands to the back. Dangle pose, bend your knees generously. Let the head hang heavy. This time, if you want to, you can put your hands in the opposite elbow crease. So you make little cross arms. And just let yourself sway gently. Now, for some people, a sway doesn't feel very good. So if that's the case for you, you could stay still. Put the weight back into the feet, entirely bend the knees, push your feet down, straighten up, reach up, clasp your hands, open up to the sky, reach back and left. Final round, reaching back and right. Going up to center, reaching straight back, lifting the ribs and chest. This is the biggest one you've done so far. And exhale, fold forwards. Again, grab your blocks, reach for your blocks. If you'd like that little assist for the legs, it's always good to bring the ground up to you. Take a deep breath in your Uttanasana, your forward fold. And exhale. Lift up halfway, stretch it out. And walk yourself forwards into downward facing dog. Lower the knees down. Land lightly on your blanket or the floor. Cats and cows, inhale, lift the tailbone, look forwards. Exhale and round. Inhale for the arch. Turn the elbow creases forwards a bit. Exhale, protract the shoulders. One more, please. And exhale. Round it out. Come back to neutral. Chaturanga to the floor. So that could be knees up or down. Shift forwards first. Elbows hug the ribs as you descend. Find the ground. And again, we're going to set the hands up like we did on the second round. So that wide hand cobra. Elbows up. Draw the fingers in. And roll up for cobra. And this time we'll shoulder dip. So let your right shoulder come across towards the middle. And look up over your left elbow, left arm. You get a stretch here through the upper right shoulder or right collarbone. Come up to center. Drop your left shoulder towards the middle. Look over the right side. Come back to the middle. Drop the right shoulder in. Back to the middle. And drop the left in. One more time, yogi. Up to the center. Right shoulder in. Up to the center. And left in. Come up to center, draw the heart forwards and up, your biggest back bend of your session. And soften your way down. Press your way back to child's pose. Release tension from your low back. Walk your hands to your right side. Stretch out your left side. And come back through center. Walk your hands to the left. And come back to the middle. Lift up, tabletop to downward facing dog. Remember, it's your shorter down dog. To take that twist, as we've been doing, right hand across towards the left lowest part of the leg you can reach. It's okay, wherever it is perfect. Rotate through. And switch it out to the other side. Heels sink in, hips square up. And release. Well done, yogi. Walk your hands back to your feet, bend your knees, dangle pose. And you can do either expression that we've had. You could have your hands on the floor, or you can hold the opposite arm. Send your breath all the way down to your low back. And we'll walk our hands out ahead of us. And now we're going to lower down to our fronts and settle into Sphinx pose. So you come all the way down and then prop up on your forearms. So your elbows are either directly under the shoulders, or if you're feeling a little tighter in your low back, elbows slightly further ahead will hopefully make that a little bit more comfortable for you. So settle into Sphinx. Bring your left arm diagonally across your chest, across the mat, as if the left hand wants to touch the right wrist. Then bend your right knee and reach back for your right foot. If this is a very big reach with your chest elevated, if it feels too much, you can try doing this with the chest lower down, as that sometimes makes it easier. You could also loop a strap around your foot. Gently pull that foot in towards you. Just a couple more breaths on this side. You feel like you're rolling that outer right hip down towards the floor. And we'll release your right foot. You'll place your right arm diagonally across your mat so that you have that balance there in the torso. And bring your left foot in and hold with your left hand. And like I said, if having the chest upright and doing this feels a little too much, lower your chest closer to the ground, and hopefully it makes the reach easier. Or loop a strap around there. Gently pull it in. And if this quad stretch simply doesn't work in your body, Sphinx pose is still a wonderful pose for your spine, for the shoulders. So take a few more breaths in this. Left hip crease, pressing towards the mat. Gently pulling your foot towards your bum. Try to not sink in the right shoulder too much if you can help it. One more deep breath. And release. We're going to come into a twist from this position. So walk your right arm a little further away from you. We're going to slide the right knee off the right side of the mat. So you might not be able to see that from here. Our block's in the way. Right knee is going straight off, and you'll feel the angle as you get into it, whether it's going to work for you at that position. But the right knee can move as we do this. Right elbow goes away from you some. Left hand reaches as far across to the right as it can. That left shoulder almost wanting to come over to the right side of your mat. And lift your right arm up to the ceiling and start to open it up into a twist. And so, like I say, this right knee isn't glued in place. You're going to let it lift up off the floor. You can shuffle your shoulders, your hips around a little bit until you feel a comfortable but quite deep twist here. Take a few breaths. Maybe even completing a twist in your neck by looking all the way to the right. We'll lift the right hand up to the ceiling, over towards the left hand. Slide that right foot next to the left before coming out. And come on back up to your front. We'll try that same thing on the other side. So we'll hitch the left knee up and out to the side. You're going to reach your right hand as far across to the left as you can, that right shoulder, trying to reach as far across to the side of the mat as you can. And then open the left arm up to the sky, over towards the space behind you now. And you'll end up in a twist. And this left knee can lift up while you shimmy your shoulders and look out to the left. And to come out of this side, we're going to go the easier way out. We're going to roll all the way onto your back. So you might end up off your mat, a little shimmy to the side, will fix that. And put your feet on the floor with your knees bent. Cross your right ankle over the top of your left knee. Let your arms just rest out to the sides. And before we take a deeper hip stretch, we're going to let the legs go side to side to loosen up the hips a bit. So let the legs both go to the left. The sole of the right foot might find the ground. And then you're going to come up and over, keeping that same shape, same side, and let the right thigh come down towards the ground on the right. You might spin up onto the left big toe. You'll come back up to center, roll onto the outside of the left foot. The feet come to the left, up to center, and over to the right. Do that one more time each side. The inhale to the middle, the exhale to the side. Come back to the center. Draw the knees or legs up towards your torso. Thread the hands around the left thigh so the right hand goes between right and left thigh. And you'll clasp around the back of the thigh. Lengthen the back of your neck and gently pull that left leg in towards you for a right hip stretch. Just relax into this. And we'll release your left leg, unwrap the right leg, and we'll do those same movements on the other side. So your left ankle will make its way up over to the right knee, right thigh. Your arms just rest out to the side. Let your legs go over to the right. So the sole of the left foot might find the mat. You'll let the outer right leg perhaps come down, or at least in that direction. Up on your inhale to the middle, over to the left on your exhale. Maybe just the right big toe touches as you go over that side. Inhale back up, over to the right. You can turn your head gently to the left. Inhale to center, knees to the left, or legs to the left, head to the right. One more time each way, yogi. Inhale to the middle. Exhale to the right. Up to the center. And over to the left. Back up to the middle. Make sure you feel neutral in your spine, lengthened out, and bring the right leg up towards you. Hold on to the thigh with both hands. Gently draw that leg in towards you until you feel your left hip stretch. If you've lifted your torso up to reach for your thigh, make sure you re-lengthen the back of your neck as you come down. Sometimes it ends up tilted up in the chin. And we'll release this. Unwrap the legs. Bring the knees up towards you for a moment. Now, if you're comfortable lying fully flat on the mat, you can go ahead and stretch out. If, like me, you like a little support under the legs, place your blocks with your blanket on top or grab your bolster. Place it underneath your knees, and this is just really nice. You could use a pillow or anything at all. It's really nice to help release tension from your low back if when you lie flat, your low back doesn't feel good with it. And give everything a last little shuffle around in your shoulders. We'll spend a few moments in Shavasana to complete your practice. So let there be a sense of ease in your body. Release any tension that's still holding and resisting in the legs. Soften your arms into your mat, palms facing the ceiling. Relax your belly, your shoulders, your jaw, and your eyes. And let yourself just be. And you'll start to wiggle your fingers and your toes. Unless, of course, you'd like a little longer in Shavasana, in which case you're welcome to just rest for as long as you want. If you're ready to carry on with your day or your evening, start to stretch. Take a belly breath. Reach out to your fingers and your toes. And pull your knees up towards you when you exhale. And shift to rest on your side a few moments. And come up to a comfortable seat to complete your practice. So you'll have your hands resting together in front of you. Just feel some gratitude in your heart to yourself for coming to your mat today. We take a deep breath in together and out together. Thank you for your practice, Yogi. Namaste.